Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick.
This is Dave.
And now, on with the show. Hello, we come to you from the frozen wasteland of Texas.
That's right.
It's like the melting frozen wasteland.
It's still pretty cold out.
We trekked many hours through the ice, through the wasteland.
We did?
To get here.
I wasn't honestly sure we were going to be able to podcast. We were closed on Sunday, Monday, which means we're behind the 8 ball today, but we managed to get everything done. Yep. We have comics for everyone tomorrow.
That's right.
As you listen, that's today, because we record this on Tuesday.
And it's a pretty cool week. It's a big Absolute week, just among other things.
4 Absolute books?
Because... not fully intentionally, but it seems like 1 or 2 of them were running late.
Yes.
And so it just happened that this happened. Yep. But it does mean that if you are enjoying the Absolute books, this is a big week for you.
It's a cornucopia of Absolute.
And then there's some other cool stuff.
There's some other cool stuff. We'll talk about that. First, let's talk about games that came in. I have one you guys haven't even seen yet, because I came in and put it in on Friday night after we were closed.
Well, I could have looked at it this morning.
But you probably didn't.
I didn't.
The guys who made One-Shot Wonders... Those One-Shot Wonders D&D books?
Yeah, the RPG.
Yeah, it's a collection of adventures for D&D, full-color hardcovers. Yep. They've done 2 volumes of them. They're both really good. They sell really well.
Yep.
They have a new book called No Place Like Homebrew.
Oh, right, I did see that.
Which is
see that.
It's a book...
You can stop. I got it.
We're good.
Nick and Dave are caught up. All right. You think... Should we tell the podcast people about it?
I guess. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is basically a collection of piecemeal stuff you can throw in if you have to last minute build a world for D&D, or if you want to build it ahead of time. But basically it's settlements, factions, NPCs, monsters, organizations, all these different things you can sort of like mix and match to build a homebrew world.
Okay. That's really cool.
Full color, really nice.
It's rather large too. It's like larger
252 pages.
Okay.
Really cool. Looks to be in the same vein as their One-Shot Wonders, basically the really good DM assistant.
Yes.
Cool. I'll look. Is it shrink wrapped?
It is not shrink wrapped.
Oh, cool. Because I want to flip through it.
Yeah. We got a game that's a hand and tableau management game built around multi-use cards called Adamastor.
I'm sorry. What?
Adamastor.
Is that one word?
Yes. It's also got. It's
not Adam Astor.
Adamastor. Adamastor.
Is this a word I'm supposed to know?
No, I don't know what it means. So, it's set in the brutal age of Sail. As you play, trauma cards accumulate, abstracting the crew's growing despair and escalating the difficulty.
Okay.
You're saying a lot of words.
And you can play it in single sessions or as like a big campaign.
And when you win, you're the Adamastor.
You are the Adamastor, yes. I believe that's right. This has got to be a nautical term, right?
Oh, no. Adamastor is a mythological titan and giant created by Portuguese poet Louis de Camões in 1572.
Oh, he's Louis de Camões, of course. Yeah. Not a day goes by we don't talk about Louis de Camões.
The Portuguese titan.
The Portuguese titan.
Symbolizing the treacherous Cape of Good Hope and the formidable untamed forces of nature.
I have heard of the Cape of Good Hope.
So this is the
mythological titan,
the newer created titan for the Cape of Good Hope.
Yes,
interesting.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, hand and tableau management is definitely a type of game I really like.
For sure.
That's what Creature Caravans is, that type of game.
Yeah.
I'm interested. This has my interest. We got a game called Borealis Arctic Expedition. You are leaders of teams of scientists who venture into uncharted boreal territories to observe wild animals.
Okay.
You have a 9-person crew of specialists from 3 different fields of expertise, represented by meeples of different colors.
Okay.
Love a game with a lot of meeples. You will choose different modes of transport through inaccessible lands, ices, and waters of the far north. Whoever gathers the most impressive collection of observed species will gain everlasting fame, together with their own encyclopedia entry and a tiny snow-covered island named after them.
Oh, nice. At one point, do you hunt the monsters?
No, you're a scientist, David.
Oh,
that's going to be the add-on. We've done all this, now we hunt.
The slaughter add-on.
There's a game called Collect. It has an exclamation point.
Okay. Yeah, you have to do that.
The animal kingdom needs a new ruler, but who will it be? You will form alliances of animals by collecting cards to vote on who will be the best candidate to run the animal kingdom.
And continue the slaughter.
No, you to avenge the slaughter that has happened to you. No, that actually sounds kind of cool.
The animals all have their own special abilities. First to complete a complete ground is the new ruler. It's fun idea.
Yeah, it is.
This looks like a pretty light card game, actually.
Scar always thought there should be fair and open elections. It was really not fair that it was just a
popularity contest. Yeah, if it was for people with brains.
Yeah,
he had the best brains.
And he was always going to be prepared.
He was always going to be prepared. Daydream is a cozy roll and write. You fill your cloud grid. Fun idea. I'm always good for a roll and write.
Yeah.
Junk Art Revolutions. This is a dexterity game. You're basically kind of like... Actually, I guess maybe it's not. It says it's a mix of steady hands, balance, and luck. I think Junk Art is a one of those dexterity games. You've got to like put stuff together so it doesn't fall, and make a little. It's kind of a Jenga-ish kind of deal.
Yeah.
But the theme of it is you are an artist trying to embark on a world tour.
Okay.
And then Map Masters, as opposed to Atomaster. This is a dungeon crawling card game that has a solo, cooperative, or competitive mode. In the versus mode, each player builds a dungeon using 5 cards. Then you draw your path to collect discoveries. In the co-op mode, you manage groups of adventurers jointly, trying to discuss strategy and get through the dungeon. And the solo mode is... I don't know what the solo mode is.
Is that a little boss monster-ish?
It sounds like it, except everybody makes it. Well, I guess
it's like your dungeon is like a little tableau.
Yeah.
But it's cool. There's a solo.
Yeah, you said solo, co-op,
and competitive. Yeah.
Bold words, people.
Yes.
Can you pull it off?
Dave, it's a triple changer.
It's a triple changer.
Plus, it turns into a train.
It also, yes. Yeah. And a plane. And an elephant, weirdly.
It's a Beast Wars triple changer.
Beast Wars triple changer.
Oh, shit.
Let the slaughter
Plus, it also turns into Settlers of Catan.
Yes. All right, let's talk comics for the week. And I think, the big ones are probably the Absolute books. Those are dominating the sales. Yeah. But for me, the big book I wanted to read this week, and the book I was very happy with, is Iron Man #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, Iron Man has had a few #1s in the last 10 years.
He has. I always give it a try. This is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. I remember... We actually had one fairly recently. It was that one that had that steampunk-looking Iron Man.
Yeah, it was the one where he had basically lost his
They were doing
armors,
magic stuff. They were doing weird magic stuff.
Yeah.
It was a weird run. I lost track of the run. I wasn't crazy about it.
But yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It's not really kind of what you look for in a kickoff.
But this one has a lot going for it because it's written by Joshua Williamson, who...
who we've been really liking on G.I. Joe, some of the Superman books.
Of various amounts of other DC properties that he seems to be, beloved at DC at the moment.
Yep. But he's also doing a Marvel book. Which
is really cool, and...
Choose a lane, Williamson.
You kind of had me with the sort of cold open against an old Iron Man film.
The premise, we can. She's on the cover. Madam Mask and AIM, which is continuing on from Venom, where she's introduced. They have a new plan, and I really like their new plan.
Yeah.
It's a good fake-out opening, and it leads into some interesting stuff in the middle. I like Tony's new armor that he uses here.
Yeah, his new armor. It feels very MCU, Tony.
Yeah, this feels very MCU, Tony.
Which I don't think is a bad thing.
But also, he's got Melinda May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as his new Major Domo, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
But Pepper's in there, too.
Because this is still dealing with the fallout of Doom.
Right.
And I forget where Iron Man was in the end of that. If he had been, had a big hand in it, but he's kind of doing an award ceremony in this one.
Yep.
The Tony Stark Award.
Yep. Which he's arriving there, and somebody's briefing him on it, and they're like, he's like, I'm all right. I'm ready to go out and get the award, and they're like, no, it's not for you. You are giving somebody an award, and he's like, oh, okay.
He's like, I don't get the Tony Stark Award.
There's also a funny bit in that sequence where there's a little montage of this is Tony Stark's life, just a real quick overview of his Avengers time and all of this stuff and his genius. And but briefly they show when he was fighting Cap in Civil War. And you see Tony going I could have done without the Cap part.
This is a good first issue.
It is.
I agree.
Williamson writes off the beaten path, not what I expect, but interesting takes on these characters, and I think he's got the voices right here down.
Yeah, I felt like this is a good first issue. It has what you look for in a good first issue to set a tone.
The art was good.
There's also, on the cover and in like one panel here, we see Citizen V.
Yeah.
I love that character. That's a deep cut. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but him being in there is pretty cool.
So remind me, who is Citizen V?
Well, I don't know who it is now.
It was Zemo.
Because it was Zemo, and then it was Dallas Rorden from Thunderbolts. She took over the role.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then I believe there's been a third Citizen V since then.
But originally, Citizen V was a
resistance fighter in the World War II.
In World War II.
But the modern day one, the one that this costume came from, that's a not a reform Zemo, a faking reform Zemo.
Yep.
Okay.
I will say, really good design.
It is a great design.
But it's interesting that
Bagley.
It was Mark Bagley, right?
That fits. Yeah. That Williamson and coming in well, there's a classic Iron Man villain we mentioned.
Yep.
I guess two if you include Madam Mask and somebody else.
Yeah.
And then this kind of deep cut. I appreciate somebody who kind of has a deep cut like that right at the gate, because it means that they've looked into their history. They've got some ideas percolating that's a little bit more than just, you do get the impression sometimes people want to follow the movies.
Yeah.
And keep it a little bit like all the biggest villains or whatever. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'd rather see something that surprises me sometimes.
This Williamson definitely shows he's got comic book Iron Man creds, but he understands what was so good about Iron Man in the movie.
Right.
That's a good balance.
Yeah, it is a very good balance.
It's a good first issue. I was talking with Dave about this off mic, that DC is kicking ass right now. DC is definitely the big winner. But for me, while I'm enjoying DC, Marvel I'm reading Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Avengers, X-Men. I'm reading all the big Marvel books, and even if I'm not they're my favorite version ever of them, they're all good. Yeah. And it's been a while since they've all been baseline good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that that's happening.
I'd fallen a little bit off, but the new initiative for X-Men stuff with all their kind of one-offs and stuff has kind of revitalized me. I thought all of them were good. I'm really looking forward to what's coming.
Yeah. The only one I wish they would fix is Spider-Man. I just don't love Joe Kelly's work.
Yeah,
but
it's been interesting. I will say
some people are really liking it. There is an Amazing Spider-Man annual this week.
Yep.
Joe Kelly writes one of the stories. The other one is Solid in the Mid, and it's based on a character that showed up in the Amazing Spider-Man run.
Okay.
So it is sort of picking up on the current Amazing Spider-Man run. DCKO has 4 books this week.
Yep.
There's a one-shot called The Kids Are All Fight, which is
Jonathan Kent.
The 2 Mr. Terrific kids, the one from the modern one and the classic one.
Cheshire Cat's
daughter.
Which is the daughter of Cheshire.
Roy Harper and Cheshire. And somebody else who I can't remember who it is. That's one of the sidekicks that was just introduced to that Young Justice miniseries.
Yep.
Jay Garrick's daughter, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And they're basically being, while KO is going down on the planet, the Titans are basically John, keep an eye on these kids, and they're all we want to go help, and they, spoiler, go help.
Okay.
There's also chapters of The Flash, Justice League, and Superman, all tying into the big KO story. I really am liking all these side stories. The Flash has Impulse, and they went back in time to try and stop the Dark Legion from interfering with Barry's origin.
I like that they're tying into what DCKO is doing, but really telling their own story kind of around it. Superman is doing some pretty, I think, integral parts.
Really interesting stuff. You don't have to read it to get KO.
No.
It deepens it a bit.
Plus, I haven't gotten around to it yet this week, but that's
plus you get Superboy Prime.
And I like that.
He's charting. He's rising the ranks for me.
And then Justice League is Mark Waid doing They were in hell. They're looking for Neron because he's been doing something.
Was this the Dirty Dozen team?
Yeah, but it's they're all from lost timelines.
Yeah.
And there's some really interesting stuff that goes on with those characters. I really like the team he's built, and because they're all time lost, he can do the people die and have their sacrificing moments and that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's a fun story. I'm liking all those. All the DCKO stuff continues to be good. There's the Valentine special, DC Supergirl Next Door.
Yeah.
These are always notable for having some good writers and good art on them. This is no exception.
There was the one story that I really kind of locked into. There was a Martian Manhunter and Ms. Martian story about them bonding and stuff that included his love of Oreo cookies, which he calls Choco Cookies.
Yes.
Which I
that is the brand in DC.
I was very happy with that one.
Batman: The Killing Joke Facsimile Edition.
Yep.
With the original colors.
This is. I was telling somebody about this the other week, like that it's not something that you would. This one, unless it was combined with other stuff, really wouldn't go in a DC compact because it's just like a 64-page story.
Yeah,
or it's actually like 48 pages.
The only way to get this book has been $18 hardcover,
yep.
Right.
Which is great, and it's got a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But if you want to just read the story, this is $5 to get one of the all-time classic Batman stories.
But the big thing is that the hardcover had the updated colors, right?
It does. It has the updated colors and a bunch of behind the scenes. This is the original colors and the original story just as is,
which people were kind of clamoring for a little bit, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, like, the updated colors thing, like, like sometimes that's a good thing. And I think some people did like them because the original artist did work on those updated colors, but also, like, it seems like Alan Moore's intent was the less realistic, more acidic colors of the original.
Yeah.
And it's easily my preference.
I like the updated colors, but I'm a Philistine.
Randy likes it. He would like a colorized black and white movie because that's who he is.
I did watch what's called It's a Wonderful Life. I did watch the colorized version.
So
it's what I thought was available. It turned out later the black and white was also there.
Colorized stuff. Like when they recolored all of
You didn't really see it then, Randy.
No, it was not A Wonderful Life. It was a...
It could be done.
You might as well have been watching the claymation.
It's not called
Life.
It's a Monochromatic Life, Dave.
It can be done really well. I think when they updated Walt Simonson's Thor for when they did the updated colors,
Yeah, those colors were great.
Really, really good.
Yep.
I thought when Jeff Smith did Bone.
Bone has fantastic colors by Steve Hammaker.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that just went from black and white to color. It didn't go from color to color.
Right.
No, but I mean, that's an updated thing. Sometimes
It's an updated thing.
I like the black and white.
You know what I read the other night, which I think we don't have anymore, but the Runners, remember that sci-fi book Runners?
Yeah.
It was black and white originally. It's great. The art's really good. But he started doing color versions, and I really like the color versions. Volume 3 of that just came out on Kickstarter, so...
I haven't read
Killing as I'm
Joke
flipping
in
through
forever.
here, there's, it begins with this great sequence where... and like almost every scene in this is now iconic.
Yeah.
But it begins with there's this storm raging outside of Arkham Asylum, and Batman walks in, and the Joker's in his like cell playing solitaire, and Batman's like, it has this feeling of like a lot of weight. He's like, "Hello," he's like, "I came to talk." The Joker keeps playing, and he's like, "I've been thinking lately about you and me. What's going to happen to us in the end? We're going to kill each other, aren't we?" And as this real momentous way it starts. And of course, there's also a great reveal on that page. If you haven't seen it, I'm not even going to say what it is. But Batman gets pissed that the Joker is not kind of responding to his overtures for peace.
Yep.
And he grabs him, and a really interesting thing happens.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway, if you haven't seen it before, but only know the iconic Brian Boland cover for it with Joker and the camera. It's really good. It's dark. Arguably kind of misogynistic for its treatment of Batgirl.
Which Ostrander
John
rectified.
Ostrander did fix
Yes.
that in Suicide Squad and subsequent comics.
Yep.
And it gave us Oracle.
Oracle is honestly a better character than Batgirl. I will die on this hill.
Yeah.
I generally agree with that.
They now have their cake and eat it too. She is Batgirl and Oracle, which
Right.
I think is probably the smart way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I was also going to mention, just for DC, that although the absolute stuff, it kind of goes without saying, the absolute stuff is always kind of some of the cream of the crop each week. But one of the notables this week is Absolute Batman is the second part of the Batman Wonder Woman meeting.
Yep.
I was just flipping through it. I haven't read it because I'm so behind in Absolute Batman.
I will say you don't have to have read the Absolute Wonder Woman. It is basically the only thing you need to know is that they've met.
Yeah.
Because this is not a part 2 of a story. It is just another... It's basically Snyder gets to take his shot at Wonder Woman,
and it looks like
Stephanie
he's utilizing magic in an interesting way to sort of help Bruce.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a cool idea.
But Flash continues to be really good. Martian Manhunter can just be really weird. And Absolute Wonder Woman introduces Zatanna.
Oh, that's right.
It's a great look.
I really like the look that they've given Zatanna.
And given that Wonder Woman in this is more magical, Zatanna makes a lot of sense as a sort of adversary.
Man, I'm flipping through this, and the art is just next level.
It's gorgeous, and it's the regular artist.
Sherman is I was going to say the regular artist, and has been doing, what I think is obviously career best work kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Worth noting, DC does have some other stuff as well this week. Detective Comics 1105, which continues Tom Taylor's run. I was skeptical of Tom Taylor because, like, I loved his stuff on Nightwing, and I didn't really want him just writing Batman.
Right.
But he's doing fantastic stuff. It's another...
Yeah, I was not excited for it either, but it's been so good.
Is
that Mikkel Janin on the art?
Mikkel Janin's amazing on the art, yeah. I mean, Batman is great right now. You got Absolute Batman. You've got Batman that's by Fraction and Jorge Jimenez, which is gorgeous and amazing. And you got Detective by Taylor and Mikkel Janin. Like,
they're actually both living up to the intent of Batman as the sort of more superhero adventuresome comic, and Detective as the kind of grittier crime detective one.
Although he is also doing, he's using Batgirl, he's using Damian.
Yep.
He's definitely playing with the entire Batman.
And there's still detective stuff going on in Batman. There's still detective
stuff going on in Batman too.
Yeah. But yeah, like, it's nice that there is a little bit of a distinct identity between them.
Justice League Red ends this week. That's the finale of the sort of Black Ops thing that Red Tornado put together. And I think that's all the DC that I saw. Did you guys see any other DC?
Harley and Ivy.
Oh, Harley and Ivy, you're right.
This is the third issue. It is sort of when they get together, have their first kind of romantic stuff.
Nice.
It's really cool. Erica Henderson just knocks it out of the park.
Just incredibly dirty.
It is.
Yeah.
But
It's not.
Stefan Sedgwick comes in for one issue.
Yes, exactly. But it was a ton of fun.
A couple notable things from Image this week. Malevolent is a new thing from Justin Jordan, who does big high concepts. It is basically what they call mals, or malevolent cross-brain entities. They're demons. And the guy in the opening is like, we call them that, so we don't have to call them what they really are, which is demons. He's like, we don't know if they're the source of our legends about demons and spirits, but basically he's doing sort of a science-y, occulty thing. And it's a special ops unit that goes into a building where someone's been possessed. And they have, like, magic sigils on their bullets and their helmets and their body armor to prevent them from being possessed. And it turns out that they have it's on the cover, they have basically raised a possessed baby to adulthood as their weapon against the demons.
Sure.
Is that what that thing is on the cover?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, the girl is. That's what the girl is.
Oh, okay.
And so they have basically a demon that's going in to fight demons for them. And the special ops unit is like, why are we working with this thing? And they're basically trying a new weapon to stop these demons. It's an interesting sort of...
When you go to war, even if it has to be a malevolent baby that you fight alongside...
Yes.
Justin Jordan, was he responsible for The Spread and Luther Strode?
Yep.
Okay, so high concepts
he does big high concept.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was fun and interesting. And if you liked supernaturally type stuff, definitely worth a read.
Sounds cool.
And also... Bug Wars comes back with the Spyder Wytch special.
Yep.
Did you read this?
I did. It's a collection of like 3 different stories about our main character, who is one of the Spyder Witches who's sort of gone against the clan and is...
Oh, the Spyder Witch isn't a bad guy?
She was part of the witches who which are spiders.
Okay.
That are not nice. But
all spiders are witches, but not all witches are spiders. Sure. Okay.
Just as a reminder, people don't remember, Bug Wars is the thing that is from the perspective of just this teenage kid, right? Initially.
Yeah.
But he finds out that the bugs in his backyard are like these, which are actually kind of drawn like humanoid bugs.
Yes. Some are.
It's basically a dark fantasy kingdom, where basically it's like Lord of the Rings is happening with bugs right under his nose, and he gets drawn into it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And sometimes it's more like heavy metal.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the time it's more like heavy metal. It's not really like Lord of the Rings. But that there is... When I said that, though, is because there's that world building going on. Yeah. So, like, the Spyder Witch and, like every insect faction in it has, like, these elaborate write-ups that, in addition to what would come up in the story, there was all these notes in the back of some of them on their factions, cicadas, ants,
Jason
fleas,
Aaron has
whatever.
Made a D&D monster manual esque of all of these things.
He thought through a lot of stuff, and so it makes sense that they would be able to do a special like this that would could do some short stories set in it.
We are introduced to the Cockroach Kingdom.
Gross. Almost no matter what you do. I didn't even like that there was a roach guy in Astro City, but at least he went by the more palatable name of Palmetto.
Sure.
Nice.
Yep.
I really like this world that Jason Aaron has created, and this character who has sort of been on the outs with everybody and has kind of become not a Conan, but a Red Sonja-ish type, but with magic, is a really cool character.
Cool. And by the way, Bug Wars recently got collected into trade paperback.
It did.
And it's right now it's a standalone graphic novel.
They're coming back for more.
I was going to say it seems like there's more to come.
That was just the first. They're
this.
doing the second.
But yeah, if you're curious to check it out, it's available.
We've also got G.I. Joe. This is a bit of a palette cleanser between arcs, which seems to be a thing they like to do.
Yep.
This introduces Roadblock.
Yeah.
And he's running a food truck. And then things happen, and a machine gun has to come out.
Yep.
It's true.
This is a really fun issue.
Yep.
It's got a guest artist, Marco Federa. He's great.
What's Roadblock's line? Is like, how can I make your day more cheesy? Or
Yeah, because he's running a grilled cheese food truck.
How can I help you have a cheesy day? Right. It's like his cheesesteaks or whatever.
But there's stuff continues to go on. There's still some Cobra machinations going on in there as well.
Now I think longtime comic readers know that in the comics, Roadblock was like had like a skill set behind his machine gunning of being a gourmet chef.
Is that not in the cartoons?
I don't think it was ever in the cartoons.
No.
In the cartoons, he spoke in rhyme.
He was a rhymer.
True. He does not speak in rhyme. He makes grilled cheese.
But they do capture, this has a bit more of, the exuberance. He's kind of seems... He's like a kind of a jolly giant here in this. Except when, it's time to not be jolly.
But I also like that they made him an ex-soldier who basically left being that because he had differences.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting way to kind
of...
of...
And he's not a gourmet chef in this.
No, he is a food truck.
He just wants to make people happy with his food, which I think is a lot.
Yep.
Guest artist in this that's a good guest artist.
Yep.
It's got some great action.
Yeah. This sequence was nuts. Loved this right here. A great sense of his strength right there.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Sequence. And the threat, the villains in it are fun. Plus, there's a good little bit of some behind the scenes. There's always some Cobra intrigue in any given issue.
Yep.
And so there's some interesting fallout from the Dreadnought War.
It's funny because I don't know that in the cartoons. Again, I haven't watched as many of the cartoons.
Yeah.
Did they have the same Does Cobra Commander and Destro always maneuvering against each other as much?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Because
not as
in the
much.
comics, it's that's constant. There's constant factions within Cobra.
Yeah.
Hama really did a lot of that.
But basically there would be time when they'd shore up their allyship, because they're like, oh well, Serpentor is going to overrun us both if we don't work against him. But on the cartoon, it was more just
backstabbing.
Yeah, he literally would be like, Cobra Commander, you're locked in the dungeons and I'm running this operation.
Yeah. I like what Williamson has done with the Cobra entity being built upon 4 different factions, and none of them like each other.
Yeah, after the Dreadnought War, they've incorporated the Dreadnoughts more into Cobra in a way they hadn't been before, and I thought it was really good.
So much infighting. It's just like this powder keg of, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
Things are going to explode.
But they're all a little bit more, they're all a little cleverer and deadlier than you think.
Yeah.
And not just like Destro and Cobra Commander.
Right.
So...
Well, after the last issue.
I don't it's not just they might fall apart, but I'm like, oh, the Dreadnoughts could end up running this thing. I don't know.
We got the second issue of Wrestle Heist.
Yep.
Kyle Stark's book about wrestlers they're gonna heist their old promoter who's a big jerk. This is really fun. I'm liking it a lot.
Yep.
And then we got a reprint of Youngblood 1 and 2 and issue number 3. So if you're a Liefeld fan, hooray for you this week.
Hooray for you.
This is the new Youngblood?
The new Youngblood, yeah.
Okay.
We also got reprints of Zdarsky's Captain America 1, 2, and 3.
We do, and we have 4 and 5, so you can jump on board that, which I think we would all recommend.
I do. I don't know
Sorry,
why...
what is this?
Captain America.
Yes. Zdarsky's. Yes. I don't know why I dropped off after the first 2 issues. I think I just we sold out of the 3rd issue, and I was just like, whatever. Yeah. But I'll catch it in a trade. And man, that last issue, number 5,
Cap has been great. Zdarsky's Cap has been really, really good.
Yeah.
We also have a reprint. Reprints are starting finding flow after the holiday breakout.
Yep.
Daredevil Punisher, The Devil's Trigger, number 1. The first issue of that comes out. We are unfortunately sold out of number 2. And possibly I think we have number 3 left.
Yeah, I think
so hopefully there'll be number 2 coming back in. But But if you missed the first issue, which I know some people did, that is back in because it sold out pretty quickly. There's also Sorcerer Supreme number 2 this week. That's Wanda becoming Sorcerer Supreme, having to fight the Vishanti, who have chosen.
They're not like, we didn't elect you.
They've chosen Agatha to try and be their sorcerer. So she has to fight Agatha, and Wong is involved too. Like there's a lot of like fighting for. Is
Agatha more of what the MCU version?
It's more the MCU.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, she's been youthened.
Yeah. Yeah, she used to look like Super Aunt May.
Yeah.
And now she's like a silver foxtress.
She's more like Hottie Aunt May from the movies.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, she's probably just more like Catherine Hahn.
Yeah.
Strange Tales number 4 wraps up the sort of mix of D&D and Marvel's characters. Really good art on this.
Yep.
I guess this was done as sort of a tie because the ads in the back are all for Marvel's Multiverse RPG. And it has stats for it. So I guess this was also sort of a nod to, hey, there's a Marvel RPG. But it's weird because it's all about Dungeons and Dragons. They don't call it that, but it is basically D&D.
I like that Marvel's doing that. Soon we're going to get a Marvel Snap comic.
I would really like a Marvel Snap comic. I don't know what the special thing would be, but I would read it.
Rivals,
yeah, I'd read it.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're going to do it. I think
I don't know.
Art of Book was all we got. But we're all Marvel Snap people. We're Marvel Rivals people. And then Infernal Hulk number 3, which takes another turn. I don't know, Dave, you get a chance to read this, but
I did. You know, we've been big on the first 2 issues where, you know, it was about this truly monstrous incarnation of the Hulk, where there was like a demonic spirit inhabiting him.
Yep.
And it had literally, you know, kind of like repulsed Banner from the body, so that Banner is a separate entity now. Yep. And, you know, it's sort of meant to be the nightmare of, like, what would happen if the Hulk was under the control of somebody truly evil.
Yep.
And it was violent, man. It is a violent comic. Yep. Most notably, I think, in that first issue, there's a bit where the Hulk, with a soldier in front of him, claps his hands, not squashing the guy's head, but he does it, like, a few feet from the guy, and, like, turns his head into powder. Basically. Yeah, that does the thunderclap. So it is hyper violent. It is invincible level violent, and that was the first issue where he was taking out like U.S. soldiers.
Yeah.
The second issue, he had a very specific plan in mind because we know he's trying to like create these monster cities.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
He was in recruitment mode.
Yeah. He was in recruitment mode, and he goes to Atlantis.
Yep. Yeah.
And some very interesting things happen there. So this third issue is the most different direction of them all, I gather.
Yeah, it is basically
Puny Banner.
Here's what's going on with Banner.
And Betty are trying to set up a new life in like a small town.
And I wasn't sure how I was going to... I kind of was like, well, we're not going to get any of this new creepy Hulk that's killing things. What Philip Kennedy Johnson does here with Betty and Bruce...
Yeah, there's like trauma stuff going on.
I was really
who comes to him and tells... Somebody comes to him and tells him he's got to deal with the Hulk because it's his issue.
I mean, it's Tony and...
That's right, it's Tony.
It's Tony and...
Now, does he have any idea what's going on?
He does. But there's a great bit where Banner, who's always been like the guy who's like, he feels responsible. He's like, look, you guys deal with it. I've been dealing with this for decades. Yeah. I can't do anything. I'm going to try and live a life.
I deserve a normal life.
Yeah. And I was like, that's really interesting. We've never seen that version of Banner before.
I thought the stuff they did with Betty was...
really good.
Notably...
really good.
Like, some of the best.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this. I think we all kind of... None of us really followed the previous run from Philip Kennedy Johnson.
I heard good stuff.
But it was the one with that sort of long-haired Hulk. Yep. And it was also about, like, monsters. It was about monsters.
He was doing a lot of Marvel monsters, yeah.
Like what... Are we talking, like...
I don't know. I didn't read it.
And stuff
no,
like
I don't,
that?
No, I don't think so.
Or the Werewolf by Night.
I believe it's more like Werewolf by Night kind of stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, now knowing, like, his craft on this, I feel like I should go back.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back, too.
But we didn't have some kind of goofy, like, Hulk spaceship, though?
No, that was Donny Cates' run.
Yeah, that was
that kind of petered off because it
was dumb.
And I think he got into the drugs.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, has been kind of dark and kind of monstery throughout.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And I think it went, 6 volumes?
No, it wasn't that many, was it?
Was it not?
I thought it was only
4 or 5, though.
Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I like the sort of... Not that I feel like you needed to read this or anything
you definitely don't.
But like...
it makes me want to read it, too.
Yeah.
We also got Escape from Skull Island #1, which is a sequel to the other Skull Island book with King Kong they've been doing.
Okay.
We don't have our trades yet, So
Hopefully by the time you hear this, we do.
Yep, it may come in on Wednesday afternoon. It's the crazy winter weather.
Right now we got all the comics.
We got all the comics.
Don't have the graphic novels yet.
All right, let's take a break, and then we might talk about a couple of trailers. All right, just a handful of trailers to talk about, but all pretty notable ones.
Yeah.
Let's start with Masters of the Universe. I think the casting on this, we were all pretty hyped for it, and then they announced Jared Leto was being Skeletor, and we all got less hyped.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the larger geek community, it seems like people sometimes they get obsessed over like, is He-Man buff enough?
Yeah.
And I think the initial thing was like, oh, the guy playing Prince Adam / He-Man is too skinny. And
he looks plenty buff.
And then he looks plenty buff. But and basically what I saw is that like most people reacted pretty positively to this.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fun trailer.
It is. I like basically he's on modern day Earth. He was sent there by his mother to be safe.
Right. Yeah. He was presumably marked for assassination or whatever, so they sent him to an alternate world.
So he's going to come back to our world.
Which was another thing, by the way, that early on people didn't like the sound of that because I think they were worried that he's going to spend most of the time on Earth.
It does not look like that.
It does not really look like that.
But it does look like Beastman is on Earth, so they're going to go back.
Right.
So they're having a mix of... I think the other thing that's interesting is they go ahead and talk about like how weird and kiddie fantasy it is. It's like, yeah, there are swords and spaceships and
talking tigers.
They talk about how silly it all is, but they don't take it too seriously, and they don't make it too parody.
Yeah, we were talking about this off mic, Randy, and I was like, are they going to like try and come up with a name, a reason why like people have these goofy names, or are they just going to like let them have the goofy names and just be cool?
I think they're just decided to go and be cool. I think they decided
like there'll be a guy named Fisto, and they're never going to like wink at you about it.
It's a fairy kingdom.
But like that, you and I were like seeing characters like that's Roboto, that's Fisto.
Yeah,
they're not shying away from.
They're doing the deep cuts.
Right out of the gate. There's some deep cuts in there.
There's good casting.
Cyclops?
No.
There's good casting. Alison Brie is Evil Lynn. She looks great. Saw some freeze frames of that. And she does look fantastic.
Marina Baccarin is going to play the sorceress.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep. The guy playing He-Man looks great.
Yeah, he's got you mainly see him as Prince Adam, or his Earth counterpart too in this, where he's kind of like a doofus,
a doofy nerd,
but like a doofy nerd, a nerd guy. There is kind of like in case you haven't seen the trailer, it seems like he's like working in HR or something like that, like in an HR department, kind of a cubicle drone kind of dude. But he kind of like has this rich fantasy life, or too escapist or whatever, and he's obsessing over some sword that he must be having visions of or thinking about, and he finds it in like some kind of nerd store, like his comic shop or something like that, and he's literally trying to get like the sword out of the statue's hands, and they're like, "Sir, you can't do that." And he's like, "It's mine," which is actually pretty funny. But yeah, presumably. People come gunning for him. He gets the sword and kicks some ass, probably. I do hope that a fair amount of it is on Eternia.
Same. Eternia looks great. The Castle Grayskull looks really good.
Yeah, it had the sword and sorcery meets sci-fi thing that the show did, and the toys and all that. So that you'd see like Castle Grayskull or the King's Castle, but there's like ships flying by shooting lasers at it.
Will we at last have the Krull killer that we've long wanted?
Who wanted that ever?
Everyone does.
Nobody wants that.
Everyone's like, I love Krull, but where's more Krull?
Do I stand alone? Am I the only fan of Dolph Lundgren's Masters of the Universe?
I've never seen it. I don't have any particular nostalgic attachment to Master Universe.
I had a fair number of Masters of the Universe toys.
As a kid, I loved that damn movie. It was silly.
I liked it. I did see it at the theater.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
And I liked it. I think when I've revisited it, it actually holds up pretty decently. I think everybody kind of knows that it's not very toy or cartoon accurate.
No, it actually made up like their own villains and stuff.
But that this like kind of came out that the director or the writer or whatever was overtly influenced by Jack Kirby's New Gods, so that like the cosmic key or whatever that they're after was like they're like, oh, this was like a mother box. And like a lot of it like lines up with New Gods stuff.
That makes sense.
But
Gwildor.
Yeah. But anyway, but I liked it. Well, real quick, Nick, what were your favorite action figures that you had? This is the real important question.
Of He-Man, just regular action?
Just like 2 or 3 of them.
Ram Man.
Okay.
It was not like the most posable, but he was really cool.
Nick, that guy was just a block that
he was
popped.
2 pieces, I believe. He had legs and a head.
But he was fun. And I like Stratos.
Oh, Stratos, that's an interesting one. So, I think the first He-Man figure I had was Zodak.
Oh yeah.
Who has a cool look, but is like he's like in like 2 cartoons, and almost nothing else. Like he was very minimally referenced. Stratos was similar. He didn't get a ton of reference.
No.
But Zodak looks really cool. Later on, I had I really liked Triclops. I think we both
is an amazing
like Triclops.
villain.
He had like a sword that sheathed on his back, which was super cool. And I'm gonna throw out one more at you. And this guy better keep his name if he's in the movie. Clawful, the Lobster Man.
I almost said Mechanic because he was really cool.
Yep.
But
and he is your spirit animal of He-Man because
he
has Nick in his name. Sort of.
This trailer looks good.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
It had the right mixture of like, we want this to be a little bit campy, but we also want it to like have some epic fantasy energy to it.
Yeah. I don't need He-Man to be amazing. I just need it to be fun and good.
Yeah.
And
it does need to be good. I can't have shit dialogue.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, if you have just like some above average dialogue, that you can take something like this and make it something special. You know, this is how you get things like, theoretically, like Galaxy Quest and stuff like that. Right. You know, it's like you just gotta go a little next level.
Yeah.
I was trying to look to see what this director had done. Oh, this is the guy who did. Oh, he produced that. He didn't direct it. He directed Kubo and the Two Strings. So. He also directed Bumblebee. So that is a good.
Bumblebee.
Good pedigree for that.
Yeah, Bumblebee's really good.
Bumblebee is one of the best Transformers movies ever made.
Okay, well that makes me like actually even more interested in
this is like a guy who seems to kind of know what he's about. Everybody knows that opening like 10 minutes of Bumblebee
on Cybertron
is sort of like one of the like. But in some ways, the Transformers movie everybody always wanted.
But he has to know. We have to flip that. We get 10 minutes on Earth, and the rest is in Eternia.
Yeah, that is how it should be.
Then we got the trailer for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. I believe I'm the only one who finished out first season.
That's true. The first 2 episodes pissed me off, and I decided to not watch it.
Even though Nick, whatever that thing that happened in it, isn't that?
I think it's gonna get like
it hasn't yet,
out.
but it probably.
However, I heard great things about John Bernthal returning as the Punisher.
The Punisher stuff is, and I'm not a huge Punisher fan, but it's the best stuff in it.
Yeah.
The Punisher facing off with cops who have literally adopted the Punisher's look, and he gets to basically. There's a great scene where they have him captured, and they're like, admit that you're proud of us. And he's like, you're all scum, and he basically goes through and wrecks all these cops who idolize him. It was very cathartic.
I might actually watch that episode. I don't know why. Wow.
It's too much like the Netflix show.
Yeah,
and it's not what I wanted. I wanted a happier Daredevil.
Yeah. But
we wanted She-Hulk Daredevil.
Yes.
But we got Netflix Daredevil. But most people want Netflix Daredevil.
They do. They're just wrong.
He's really good as Matt Murdock, though.
Anyway, this one, it brings back Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter. Yep. I've heard maybe even just one episode, but she's pretty prominent in the trailer.
So I saw Foggy Nelson in this. Is Foggy Nelson? He gotten offed.
You saw Foggy?
Yeah, he's in there.
No, I didn't notice
that trailer.
I didn't notice him. Oh, are you sure it was Foggy?
Yes.
Because Kingpin has a dude who kind of looks like Foggy.
No, it was Foggy. It was the guy from Mighty Ducks.
Okay, well then he's back.
But I did see some people wondering, like, is it a flashback?
It could be. I think they're doing what they did in the comics, where Foggy faked his death to get away from Daredevil's bad guys.
Yeah.
How do you get killed in the show?
Bullseye kills him
with
knives.
And then
he shoots him.
No, he shoots him. That's right.
Yeah,
it was from like another building away or something.
Yeah, it's like a sniper shot.
And do we so we don't see his brains get blown out?
No.
One of those kind of hard to pull back from.
No, this is easily a fake out.
Yeah, you could do it, but doing it under because Matt heard his heartbeat stop, and Matt doesn't seem to be in on it.
Yeah,
and that's what kind of set Matt over
I think
the
that was true in the comics too.
It was.
I believe Zdarsky did that. Right. It's weird how much of it is based on Zdarsky and Sewell's Daredevil, which are both weird. They're both really weird runs.
They're both weird.
But by the way, is it impossible that he got shot? He did, die in the moment or whatever, but paramedics revived him, and then he and Matt set about on a scheme to.
It's possible. I don't think that Matt's not in on it.
Because it skips
Matt,
a year.
Matt rages against Bullseye and nearly kills him.
Yeah, and then it skips 6 months or a year, right?
Yeah, it skips a year ahead.
And
and Matt is post-traumatic stress over the whole thing. Yeah, Matt is definitely not in on it. Which I believe was the comic as well.
But we see more of Karen.
Yeah, I think Karen was in on it.
Probably so.
And I think that's probably going to cause them to have some friction as well. But it looks like they're going to get them back together.
I think as trailers go, it looked good.
It does. If I hadn't disliked season 1, I'd be more excited for season 2. I don't hate it, but it's just so not what I want from Daredevil.
I think that She-Hulk gave them a kind of easy pass to do something new and different with Daredevil.
Yep.
But
people didn't like She-Hulk.
People didn't like that he was kind of hokey adventure Daredevil.
People are dumb. She-Hulk is great.
And I was like, no, I want Adventure Daredevil.
Yeah.
Adventure Matt Murdock.
Yep. I wanted Hobag Daredevil who has to do a walk of shame. I like that.
Yes.
So yeah, not what I wanted out of Daredevil, but it's still well done. It's just not what I want.
Right.
And the trailer's good. I'll watch more. And then we saw the trailer for Maul Shadow Lord, which is a animation from the Clone Wars people.
Yep.
Picking up with Maul after the end of Clone Wars.
Yep.
Well before he's an old man in Rebels.
And well before he was killed yet again.
Yes, well before he was killed again.
Yeah, but this is after Order 66, after basically his final confrontation.
He's on the run because he's not a Sith anymore.
Correct.
So he's he's like a third force.
Yep. Emperor wants him dead.
Yep.
Has bounties. Has his little cadre people looking for him.
But we know he will become the head of the Crimson Dawn.
And it's weird that it's basically setting up Darth Maul as kind of a resistance fighter in its own way.
I think he's more of an anti-hero. I think he's definitely not. He's not part of the rebellion.
No, but it's just basically a resistance from his point of view.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of want that right now.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in this, and the trailer's really good. They do great lightsaber fights and action. Yeah. They've done really good stories in both Rebels, Bad Batch, Clone Wars. All of it's good.
They took basically a non-speaking character from Phantom Menace and created one of the most kind of fleshed out.
Yep. Wholesale created a new character around him.
Yeah, and it was a really good idea.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I'm glad we're kind of getting to see another side of him.
Yeah.
What's his name? Gennady Tartakovsky, I think, gets first credit for, that kind of, those thought patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he didn't use Maul.
No, I'm not talking about Maul. I'm talking about taking prequel stuff that was under anemic.
Yeah.
And then of course Dave Filoni ran with it and stuff like that.
Dave Filoni is now one of 2 heads of Disney or Star Wars.
Not replaced, but didn't he take Kathleen Kennedy step down?
Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down, and he and someone else who's more of a financial person, I think,
they're
taking over. So it's kind of like James Gunn and Peter Safran over at DC.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I think is probably smart. Actually, I think, much as I love Kevin Feige, I think that, what's her name? Victoria Alonso?
Yes.
Doesn't get enough credit as basically being his right hand.
Yeah.
I think that they don't always give credit. Now they're starting to give credit to both parts. That's what you need. You need an idea man and someone who's you don't have that much money. But also, Alonso's reportedly great at getting people on board and recruiting people. To some extent in comics, Quesada and Palmiotti were that with Marvel Knights.
Yeah.
Palmiotti had all the creator relationships. Quesada was the idea guy and the artist, and between the two of them, they really sort of reinvigorated Marvel. So I'm all for the 2-person teams.
I agree.
All right, let's roll into a couple shows and movies that we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Knights of Seven Kingdoms. Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's the 3rd Game of Thrones show, basically.
Yep.
This is lighter and more
4th
fun.
if you count the Shannara Chronicles.
The Shannara Chronicles?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, I mean,
no one does.
I think you'd find that many people do.
I watched half a season.
And 5th, if you count the short-lived Willow TV show.
Oh gosh! What about what's the one on Amazon?
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
Yeah. That was also Game of Thrones.
What about Lord of the Rings? The Rings of Power. Is that count?
That was the Lord of the Rings of Throne Power. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the 8th spinoff from Game of Thrones. Sure.
This is an interesting story.
We talked about it over the years because we reviewed the graphic novels,
which we all really liked.
They did 3 of them over the years,
which spun off short stories that George R. R. Martin wrote.
I think like sort of novellas he did. That were set. What is this set? Roughly like 100 years, 200 years.
100 years before, I think, right? Or is it 200?
I'm not good with this.
I want to say it's 100.
The important to know is like
main Game of Thrones.
The Targaryens,
all the houses are there, but they're all kind of. Some have risen and fallen in importance because of the time period.
Is the Baratheon the king currently?
No.
Okay, he's not.
No, they're all kind of
one of the Lannisters is king.
I believe that is true.
It's not the Mad King right now, right?
No,
it's somebody else.
No, that would be Targaryen.
That's Targaryen. You're right. Are the Lannisters? No, Targaryens are the king right now.
The Targaryens are the kings right now.
Yeah, okay. This is before the Mad King.
But even though that is the backdrop, this is a sort of a more personal story that's kind of almost has buddy crossover, buddy team up, buddy comedy elements without being too comedic, but not being
I will say,
comedic.
Dave, you have not seen the show yet.
No,
so you're reacting off the graphic novels. So the show is still a little more Game of Thrones because all the houses are their characters from all the houses, but the lead character is Sir Dunk the Tall, Sir Duncan the Tall, who it's straight out of Knight's Tale.
Yes. A little bit, yeah.
I think these were like premises.
We don't know which came first, do we?
I don't, because these do go back a ways for George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
And anyway, certainly the execution is wildly different.
Yes.
But if you know in A Knight's Tale, the idea of a squire whose master dies and he tries to take his place at the joust, that's more or less how this story kicks off. It's just that it's, in terms of weight, and like, if you imagine, if you just said to yourself, what would happen if Game of Thrones made A Knight's Tale?
Okay, so Knight's Tale is 2001, The Hedge Knight is 1998.
Yeah.
But The Sworn Sword and Mystery Knight are 2003 and 2010. So I have a feeling Martin may have influenced the Knight's Tale, and the Knight's Tale may have had him go back to do more stuff with the characters.
Interesting, yeah.
So they may have influenced each other. At any rate, the lead character is his master dies, and he takes up his sword and shield. He doesn't have armor.
Doesn't have armor.
And his horses. And decides he's going to pretend to be. He pretends not to be his master, not to be a knight, but he was a squire, so he says his master knighted him before he died.
Right.
Which is not true.
Right.
But nobody can contradict it necessarily because his master's dead.
Correct.
And he finds a young boy who decides to be his squire, named Egg.
Yep.
Right. Who will turn out to be a pretty important character.
Yep.
Yeah.
They already laying the groundwork.
Yeah, they haven't said it yet.
Oh, they haven't said it?
No.
I thought it was such a big part of the premise.
In the second episode, they allude to it pretty heavily.
But they haven't actually said it yet.
They haven't said it outright.
He is a learned type person.
Yes.
But in this, he's a kid. It's much more than he's a kid.
But he's smart. He knows all the houses. He knows like the inner workings.
Yeah, it's like he knows all the royal stuff and how to do that. And the reason he knows this is because of who he is. But if you don't know that going in the show, you wouldn't know.
No, and Dunk is like, what the hell, kid?
How do you know all this? Yeah, yeah.
But Arya was a really smart kid.
Yes.
So you got this kind of slightly lunk-headed but well-intentioned and not stupid.
So I really like the guy they cast as Dunk.
He's good.
He's very tall.
He's very
important. But also, he has that sort of Superman quality. The naive but just kind of person.
Yep. Good-hearted.
And also, he's like he's not dumb, but he's talking to like the whores because he has to get some kind of acknowledgement of his knighthood. Yeah. So he goes to this guy who's a knight from I forget which family.
Tully?
House Tully, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember which knight. But he wants to talk to this knight. He's hoping he'll remember his master and be able to vouch for him.
Right.
And
nobody.
The knight is like sleeping all through the day and night, and the whores who are like in this camp basically give him a hard time. And there's this great bit where they're teasing him, they're giving him a hard time, and he's not dumb. And he eventually says, "Why are you making fun of me?"
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, you know what? We're being shitty for no reason," and that kind of thing. I really like seeing that.
Yeah.
There's also they know full well what people expect from Game of Thrones, and they undercut it because in the beginning he's buried his master. He picks up the sword. It's the hero's journey, and they start playing the Game of Thrones music.
Yeah.
And they cut to him pooping next to a tree.
It's true.
And change the music to like different music. I was like, they totally like it's not going to be that.
Yeah.
And yet, he's like becomes friends with a prince of Baratheon.
Yep.
Who's this sort of
kind of a drunkard,
but a likable drunkard. I mean, not unlike Tyrion.
A little bit, but also there's a little bit of the king in kind of his. Because that guy was likable to a fault. He was just kind
until he smashed your baby's head with a hammer.
Yeah. Well, there was that.
But yeah, good character. I like that character. I don't know if he's in the original Hedge Knight stuff or if that's a new invention.
Either.
I feel like he wasn't. I feel like they've done some invention here.
But they've introduced some Targaryens who are kind of assholes.
Yeah.
But one of them, seems like a guy who at least acknowledges that, he has to know everything in order to be what he is. Yeah. And he's not a complete shit.
And then they do the first, jousting thing in the second.
Which
and
is
it's
like a multiple
action-packed and cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's really good. I wasn't sure I was in the market for any of this.
Yeah.
Because Game of Thrones, I liked it a lot, but I went off of it, and I didn't really get into House of the Dragon.
It's a different speed than the other Game of Thrones.
Well, it seems like a kind of a speed that... It sounds more interesting to me than a more actual literal jockeying for the Game of Thrones.
It sounded more interesting to me, but I'm not a big fantasy guy. Yeah. And I didn't know that I was going to have interest in it. And I watched the first 2 episodes, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I don't get the impression, it's not goofy.
No.
It's not silly. It's just a little lighter. It definitely feels of a piece of Game of Thrones. But it's this is these guys aren't going to become... our lead character is probably not going to become a Knight of the Kingsguard or anything, even though Knights of the Kingsguard do show up.
They do.
And there's implications of, he might rise to the ranks and become... But this is not about him ascending to the throne. It's about him making his way in this world.
Yep.
And it's really good.
What a hedge knight is.
Yeah.
And, I thought it's really interesting. I don't know how many episodes. I assume 8 or 10.
8 or 10 would be my bet.
But how do they describe a hedge knight on the show?
I don't know that they do.
Okay.
Well, they basically say he is not,
A hedge knight means that, you're not connected with,
to a house, a bigger house. Yeah. You're just kind of...
You travel around and you do good deeds and shit.
Yes.
And
it's a classic kind of questing knight.
And they do mention that. And they...
Okay. 6 episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's already been renewed for a second season.
So they are going to run through this pretty quick,
This will be the first story, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think they're doing a direct adaptation. I mean, I haven't read it in a while, but I feel like they're making big changes.
I'm sure they will.
But they're also incorporating some Knight's Tale stuff too, because the woman who is the actor.
Oh, the actress, yeah.
And
she's also tall.
She's also tall. I feel like that is a little bit of going to become a love interest and things like that. So I think they're going to incorporate...
I remember there being a love interest in
there?
Is there? Okay, I don't remember it.
I don't remember it from the first Hedge
Her name is Tanzel. She's a Dornish puppeteer.
Yep, that's for sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
I have not read the book, and I don't remember the graphic novel.
I bet they will broadly base the seasons around the stories. There's going to be the one with, what is it, the Red Widow or something like that, and it's a weird sort of water rights thing, and an old kind of decrepit castle, and that's fallen into disrepair.
I don't know.
That was the third one, and then there is a second one that I'm gonna blank on what happened in it.
I'm glad this is doing well. I'm glad they've gotten a second season. I think this is kind of caters to the Game of Thrones crowd, but kind of differentiates itself by being a little more.
Well, it's a little smaller,
heroic.
and it's also a little smaller in its thematics, right?
And I finally have a character in the Game of Thrones world that is not a complete asshole.
Yep.
Or at least
There's some funny bits in here.
That's a very short list.
Rob.
He died though.
No, there is some funny stuff. Dunk keeps hitting his head on things, which is always funny.
Yeah.
And the bit where he's when he's giving his eulogy at the very beginning of his master, he's like, "You were a good master. You never beat me except when I didn't deserve it." And they show a montage of him getting slapped 4 or 5 times. He's like, except that one time when it was somebody else, and they show him slapping him for that too. And I'm like, oh, this guy was not the greatest knight. He was a bit of a drunkard and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They definitely give a little bit of a backdrop to this guy being he's been slapped around. He's not royalty.
No.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'll maybe try and catch it.
It's worth a watch. I really enjoyed it. All right, we have ushered Nick out of the room so that he doesn't get spoiled. You should usher yourself out of the room if you don't want to get spoiled on 28 Days Later, The Bone Temple. Dave and I saw it. We're going to talk about it. Dave may try and talk around it. I'm just going to talk about everything. I'm going to give you all the spoilers. I'm going to describe it scene by scene. Okay, so it opens. I can't do that, actually.
Into the Bone Temple.
But we're going to talk about it. If you've not seen it, you want to see it.
At least one thing that's so cool.
You really want to see it in the theater.
That you'd really want to see it in the theater, or, if you're a person who watches these movies at all.
If you're going to go see it, if you're already planning to go see it, don't listen to our review right now. Listen to it later.
The 28 Days Later series, which launched originally in like the early 2000s, basically has a new trilogy. You don't need to know any details other than there's a new trilogy with the original director returning, Danny Boyle.
Yep.
He's won awards. He's great.
Although he doesn't direct this one.
That's right. But he did relaunch it.
Yes.
And he's co-scripting it with Alex Garland.
I think wrote all of it. Didn't he write the first ones too?
Yeah, but isn't Danny Boyle co-scripting?
I don't know the deal on that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, but Garland is credited for writing the screenplay. I know Garland
is for sure.
I wonder if basically Garland writes the screenplay and Boyle sort of changes it as he goes along.
Maybe so.
But
these are zombie movies that are kind of like it's the rage infected, slight variation on zombies, and in the previous one. In the previous 28 years later, they had followed this little island off the coast of England, right?
Yep.
And of survivors, and this kid who had been going on like hunting missions, learning to fight to like use arrows like the English longbow of old from his dad, going inland on like sort of hunts. And basically, there's a lot of drama with them, but this movie sort of had a one developing mystery. There were a few different types of the infected that you met in that, including one notable giant,
the Alpha.
Yeah. Who looked like he's like 7 feet tall, just a slab of muscle, and incredibly dangerous. And then the other interesting person that we met was Ralph Fiennes' character,
Dr. Ian Kelson.
Who
was basically built the Bone Temple.
Right. They avoided it most of the original movie. It only becomes relevant in sort of the last quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it terrified people. It is literally these very beautiful but terrifying looking pillars of skulls.
Yeah.
Yes. It basically looks like you're about to enter into like a satanic ritual, which we'll come back to. Only it turns out that he is in fact a guy who was he was like a scientist. And he's like extremely humane. He does some dark stuff. He when he kills someone, he what do you call it? Like strips away all the bones, and he does whatever that rendering process is, so that he polishes the bones and he puts them on these temples as ways to remember people. But everybody else, if you don't know what his deal is, they just think he's just some complete whack job. Who just murders people.
Right. So in the first movie, the previous one, the boy meets him because his mom has a tumor, and he knows this guy's a doctor, and so he thinks maybe this guy can help his mom.
Yeah.
Which he can't. He's able to diagnose her and tell her she's going to die.
Yeah.
But he can't actually help. But the kid did meet him.
Right.
And then at the end of the previous movie.
And by the way, didn't even say what happened.
Yeah, at the end of the previous movie, the kid goes back to the main island, which is full of rage zombies, and seems to be just assigned to live there. And at the end of the movie, in a cliffhanger, he is rescued by this guy. This guy we met in the very opening of the movie, whose name is Jimmy. And now he is 28 years older than he was when he first.
Right. He was a kid who was the son of like the local preacher. Who or minister, who was killed by the infected, and when he shows up again, he's dressed as creepy British performer,
children's performer,
Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile. I was trying to remember what the name was. Jimmy Savile,
a guy who was kind of like their Dick Clark, but who turned out this doesn't actually come up in the movie. I think it's just
no. But if you know this backdrop, it makes sense.
He turned out to be a terrible, prolific child molester.
Yeah.
But he wore like like satin jackets and stuff like that. So, and he had these long blonde hair in the 70s.
So Jimmy has this group around him, which he calls his fingers, who all wear the blonde wigs and look like him. By the way,
before you get into that, I just want to quick say, at the end of the previous one, who's the doctor?
Dr. Ian something, Kelson.
Dr. Kelson. He helps, he administers like euthanasia to the kid's mom.
Yeah.
And it's this like typical of the series when Danny Boyle is handling it. It's very humane and like sad and comforting at the same time, and it gives the kid closure. So that was like there's this very beautiful ending to it in a lot of ways. And then there's that cliffhanger with Jimmy. So this picks up
picks up right away. So this movie is two things.
Yes.
It is Dr. Kelson trying to see if he can revive Alpha's like humanity, using morphine and like talking to him and sort of trying to get him to see if you can come back from the rage virus.
Right. The Alpha who he's come to name Samson.
And the other half is poor Spike, the young boy, who has been drafted into this murder cult of Jimmy's, where they go around and torture people and do awful things.
Right. They essentially are like raiders. They'll take their food and stuff, but they have like almost a ritualized torture sort of thing that goes on that is very difficult to watch at times. But if the movie was not so well done, I probably wouldn't be able to like recommend this. But it actually turned out to be really well done.
Jimmy, who's named himself Jimmy Crystal.
Yes.
He is like seems to believe that his father is Satan.
Yes.
And that he is, and that they are all
Although
doing
part of it is also
things.
a story he tells to just keep his people in line.
Yeah.
And it's like he's so like kind of
but he almost when he goes in,
he half believes it.
Where the two things intersect is that one of the fingers, one of his cultists, spots the bone temple and sees the doctor, who's like covered in red because he wears something
it's disinfectant.
It's disinfectant.
He puts disinfectant on his skin to avoid getting the virus.
And so she's like, "Oh, that's Satan, and it's Satan's temple."
Yeah,
and
she's like, we
should go talk to him because Spike does something that is like going to get him killed, and she doesn't want him killed.
They're
and she's
mostly
like,
teenagers,
and
so they don't even remember the world before the zombies and stuff like that. And so he has basically kind of like been filling their head with this tale of my father, Satan, and stuff like that, which he calls Nick, like Nick Scratch, old Nick. And so one of them sees the doctor, Ray Fiennes, and just takes it literally, and then he is in an interesting position because he's like, I have to acknowledge him somehow.
Yep.
And yet he's like, I've got to be careful that I don't lose control over my little murder gang.
Yeah, he goes in first and talks to the doctor, and it really does feel like he does tell him, he's like, I half expect you to be Satan.
Yeah. He actually sort of drops his guard.
Yeah.
You sort of see in these moments that, I mean, he is a monstrous person.
He's a psychopath.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah.
But he's also a little pathetic.
Yeah, because he's a kid.
He's a kid, and at the same time, Ray Fiennes, who, his ongoing story with Samson is actually quite amazing.
Yeah.
Because it kind of follows it at length as you kind of, what at first just seems like him being almost stupid, why would you do this? He will basically recurringly face off with Samson, the most dangerous infected.
Yep.
But he hits him with these blowguns full of not paralytic, but sort of tranquilizing darts. And then he'll just kind of like hang out with him.
Yeah.
Essentially kind of tripping.
Yeah.
For a few hours. And I think in his head, he's like, I'm showing Samson that he's safe with me. I'm going to talk with him quietly, but as a friend or as a son, and all this stuff. And it's just interesting the movie even went there.
It's such a strange movie.
And then what happens from that, I guess I don't quite want to reveal, even though are we revealing
We're revealing it because this is why you want to see it in the theater. And
okay, yeah.
If you're going to go see it, again, don't listen to this because you want to experience it, but he puts on a show.
Oh, right. Well, I was going to say about what happened to Samson.
Oh, no.
But we can say that in a second.
Yeah.
So, but I guess he has a breakthrough with Samson.
Yeah.
And so, having achieved that, he also knows that he's running out of the
morphine.
The morphine that is what trips him out. And he's only got 2 more weeks left. And so, in a way, he's kind of achieved what he wanted in life. Mm-hmm. He doesn't necessarily want to die, but he's not really afraid of much anymore. Right. And he wasn't afraid before.
And we see pictures of his wife and kid, who clearly have died. So,
right.
He has been driven by this bone temple thing.
So Jimmy tells him, look, I need you to do something for me, or we're going to have to kill you. Yeah. Basically, I'm going to kill you horribly.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I need you to put on a show that you're Satan.
Yeah.
For my friends. And
man, does he understand the assignment.
And he's like, what Jimmy, of course, wants is for him to put on this show and then say, I give you these commandments, always follow the word of Jimmy.
Yeah.
And, he shall go unquestioned and stuff like that. But what he does, and what I don't think either of us expected this would have, is there's a musical sequence that might as well... It's like the amazing sequence in Sinners you mentioned, Randy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of untouchable right now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to set expectations too high. But what he does is super
cool and really well done. And the reason you'd want to see this in the theater, it's the best visually stunning sequence.
Because he's been throughout the thing, you see that he sings English...
He's got a record player.
He's got a record player, and he's singing a lot of Duran Duran.
Duran Duran. Yeah.
He listened to pop music back in the day. Only this is the day that he breaks out the metal.
Yeah.
And the visuals on this sequence are good. Something else.
Yep.
Ray Fiennes, he put so much work into this.
Yeah.
And who's the director?
Nia DaCosta is the director. She did Candyman sequel,
right,
and also The Marvels.
Right. Which I like The Marvels quite a bit.
Yep.
But she's also kind of an unknown for me because I haven't seen that new Candyman.
Oh, did you not see it? It was good. I thought you did. You saw the original.
I saw the original.
Okay. Yeah. She did. She's really good.
But boy, I felt like she really lived up to Danny Boyle's work.
She's really good.
Of course, 28 years later, being what it is, it's these are dark. I mean, this is a dark story.
It is.
I cannot overemphasize how bad Jimmy and his people are.
Yep.
Although you do see, there's people on board who are little sadists who are down with it, and there's people who vomit when he... and clearly don't want to do what he's making them do.
Yep.
But there's also these big streaks of humanity. And so Ray finds when he spots... He hadn't realized initially, because they were wearing masks, that this kid was the same kid whose mother he had helped before. Yeah. And when he sees that it's him, he can't go through with just, backing up this guy's play. And he does something different. And there you do kind of want to see what happens. But the reason he sort of felt like he could in a way, I guess, could die if he needed to, was because he had this breakthrough with Samson, which is actually a very cool idea that he wondered if buried somewhere inside him and under all the bestial stuff was the person he once was.
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. But the way it comes about is super cool. And includes a sequence where Samson is in an old kind of abandoned subway car, or like a train car.
Yeah. You're right, it's a train car, yeah.
Like a derailed, overgrown train car. And he's in there with a bunch of the infected. They're all just kind of wandering around, zombie-ish. Yeah. And he suddenly, he has a dream about his childhood.
Yeah.
And he remembers a ticket taker on that very train. And he's says something he says, I don't have my ticket. Yeah. And they see him, and suddenly he is not them.
He's not one of them.
And they all go at him.
Yeah.
And but that's the reason he's called the Alpha. It's he's Superman versus their parademons.
Yep.
Now this is a much more brutal fight than that,
right,
but man,
right.
That was something else.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this movie had a ton of jaw-dropping moments, very beautiful scenes, utterly terrifying scenes, and gory scenes.
Yep.
It delivered kind of what I want from the franchise.
Yeah.
It is definitely, like, wilder than the original 28 Days Later, you know? The big swings at, like, you know, Ray finds his bone temple, Samson as a concept, the Jimmy Gang, all of that stuff is much wilder than you saw in the original movie.
And there's a post-credits with the original movie character.
Right.
Which is, so they're going to make another one. He's doing a third movie.
It'll come full circle.
Yeah, and...
Normally I would have said, like, you're going to return, and you're going to not just return with one movie, but a planned trilogy.
It sounds insane.
It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I would have said, do not do that. Don't tarnish it.
At this point, I'm like, make however many of these you want.
Yeah.
Your world building is really good, and it's not just a zombie story.
Yeah. They all have a tale to tell, and I am super looking forward to it as Cillian Murphy. Makes his return, and if you kind of wanted to know a bit about what has he been up to, well, you're not going to learn everything, but you are going to learn something.
Yeah.
And the final sequence, it has the thematics that I like in the series. So
it was really good. This was my first new movie I've seen this year, and it's a good place to kick off. So
I agree.
If you have any fondness for
if you're a horror person, you should 100% see it.
Yep. All right, that's gonna do it for us this week. We'll be back next week with more. Until that time, yo Joe. Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.